The lady you see here in this picture was recently fired because of some comments she made. She's a TikToker. And I actually have read the comments, but I haven't been able to listen to them because it sounds like TikTok has now muted it so that you can't hear it. I'm sure there are other people out there who have a recording of this and can share it with you. But it's just enough to know that the comments that she made were, racist in nature. And as a result of that, she was fired from her job. Now, she has this TikTok account and she actually has a GoFundMe link on it now. And I'm going to go to that in just a second. But here she is, and she doesn't she has around, I guess, around 9,000 followers on her site. But this is the company that she was working for. Let me brighten this up just a little bit. This is the company she was working for, and they're actually located here in North Carolina, where I am. They are in Wilmington. They're located in Wilmington. And so they actually issued a statement after she did this TikTok where she made these comments. And she actually calls it interpretations. When we go to her GoFundMe page, we're going to see where she calls this interpretations. I think I need a little bit more clarification about what she means by that because I'm not entirely sure. But here's what the company had to say. We and I'm not sure how you pronounce it, of the Carolinas want to address a recent incident that has caused concern and upset among our stakeholders. A newly hired employee made inflammatory remarks on social media that do not align with the values and beliefs of our company. We want to make it clear that these sentiments are not representative of our organization, and we do not condone or support such behavior. As soon as we were made aware of the situation, we took immediate action to pull the employee from her assignment, which is not directly with any client of ours, and the employee in question is no longer with our company. We are owned and operated by African American female and immigrant. We are owned and operated by, I'm not sure the wording there is flowing, right? African American female and immigrant owned businesses and handled the situation as quickly as we could. We want to assure you that we are committed to fostering a diverse, inclusive, and respectful work environment where all individuals are valued and respected. We understand the importance of upholding our principles of equality and understanding, and we will continue to strive to create a culture of respect within our organization. So, yes, they have issued this statement saying that she has been fired. So, she has this GoFundMe page now that you can see from her TikTok account. And let me actually go to it over here so that I can do a better job of reading it. And I guess the interesting thing about it was, first of all, for her to sort of say down here at the bottom, let me read what she says first, because I feel like she's not taking any accountability here for what she said. And then the comments that she made afterward in response to what other people posted. Hi, everyone. I was canceled. Okay, that's not taking accountability for what you said. I was canceled by the media for saying things that were interpreted. I, I don't, I mean, yeah. I am not racist. I was fired from my job as a teacher, and now my family has no means of income. Please help put food in my baby's stomach. I'm grateful for any help. So a couple of things I want to talk about here. And one is, look, nobody wants her babies to go without food. I don't think anybody wants that for them. She does need to take accountability for the statements that she made. This statement that says I was canceled by the media for saying things that were interpreted. No, you canceled yourself for saying things. And let me say why it's not the media's fault. You are the one who made the comment. It's no different. It's no different than if I, as an attorney, violated attorney-client privilege and somebody else then shared that or called me out about it. I'm the one who would have violated that privilege. I would be the one who would need to take responsibility for that. And when we use the word cancel, what we're doing is we're backing away from being honest with ourselves about the fact that we said something that or did something that probably shouldn't have been done quite like that. There's a way to have conversations about things, and she's saying this was interpreted. I'm not sure where she's going here. If you look at some of the comments about what she said, then I think she needs to step up and say what she's talking about here. I haven't heard anyone say that she's come forward with any sort of apology or any additional remarks that clear this up. Maybe I've missed that part. But, like I said before, there are plenty of instances where you just can't go around just saying whatever. And like I said before, attorney-client privilege, if you are a doctor, you can't go out just sharing medical information about people. I know people who have worked in a hospital setting and they see people coming in for appointments. They don't go out and share that at church or at the, family gathering or while they're hanging out in the park. They don't do that because they know that they aren't supposed to be sharing that information. You also have schools. Schools are under certain guidelines and laws. They're restricted about the information that they can give out about students. And I'm not just talking about elementary students and students of a young age who are minors. I'm also talking about students who might be graduate students at the professional level who are seeking maybe a PhD or something like that, who might be older. Those universities still are bound by certain restrictions in terms of what they can and cannot say. You have banks. They can't just willy-nilly disclose financial information to anybody who calls up asking for it. Their employees can't just go out and start saying all sorts of things about the clients, the customers who come into that bank. So a lot of times people are restricted in terms of what they can say given what their job is. And you actually say here, you were a teacher. I think that's also a difficult part here. You say, I was fired from my job as a teacher. And so the understanding there is that that's a position where you're supposed to be helping other people learn. And so, how is this a good thing? Some of the comments that you're making and putting out there, how does this foster learning and understanding and education? How does that fit into the conversation? I don't really see how. And then the final thing that I want to talk about, and I mean, GoFundMe here, like I said, GoFundMe here. The final thing I want to talk about is who do you have in your circle that is helping you move beyond this? Because here is always my concern when people get so called canceled. They walk away like she's doing with no real understanding or desire, maybe, to take ownership of what happened, of the actions that they engaged in that resulted in some of these consequences. I mean, even me as an attorney, there have been plenty of times I've had to call people up and say, hey, look, I dropped the ball on this, or hey, I messed up on this, where I have had to own it, literally had to own it. What I see now is people not doing this, and then they don't have people in their circle who can help them come out of that silo and say, "Hey, yeah, here are some things you might wanna look at or think about doing. Just a few thoughts that I have that I wanna share with you. Where are your family? Where's your family? Where are your best friends?" Because if there's no one there to help you with understanding, then you just sort of stay in that same position. You don't really grow out of it. It may be a lesson that you don't really learn. And so, most of the times we have to have somebody who's going to help us through that, going to help us see maybe the harm that we did, the hurt that we caused. Another way that we should approach things when we have concerns, how to have constructive dialogue, and certainly how to think about the consequences of actions that you take that may result in you now saying, I don't have a job anymore because here's what I did. Not these people canceled me, but here's what I did. And so if you don't learn from that, you know what they say, if you don't learn from history, you are doomed to repeat it. So I don't know where she's gonna go with this. It like I said, nobody wants her kids to be without food and sustenance and something to eat. And nobody wants her kids to be homeless and not have a place to stay. I don't know her family situation, but part of this process has to be about you taking accountability for what you said. Like I said, there are plenty of employment situations where the employees can't just go around saying all sorts of things, be it an attorney, a doctor, teachers, banking employees. Yeah, there are things you just are not going to be able to say. And in this instance, you were a teacher at a company that was owned by an African American and an immigrant. And it sounds like those were the very people, to some extent, that you decided to target in your interpretation or whatever it is you want to call it, which is just another way of saying you still don't want to even take um, ownership of what you said. You categorize it in a way that does not allow you to take responsibility. Why? Because you don't want to take responsibility is what it sounds like. So hopefully there are some people around you who will help you through this process, look out for you and help lead you down another path. But yeah, so drop your comments, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe and peace.